Hey yo, what's up YouTube? To all my followers, my few fans, new people. I haven't been on here in a while. I just been pretty much just sit back and observing. But I'm gonna come out with this one. So let me get right into it. I want to take my time with it simply because I haven't been on here in a while, or I haven't posted anything that regards to this. Now, this might be my last video on this topic, just in case anything else comes up that I can speak on. But what I'm about to speak on has been a lot. It's probably been like 5 months ever since the beginning of the year. 5 months going into 6 months. People have been talking. New people have been talking. People have been getting more interested in this subject. I see a lot more people making videos about it. Whether or not, they hold any credentials or they just copying it off somebody else, it is what it is. But like I said, I just sat back and observed, and I just want to have a disclaimer out there. I'm not trying to talk about anybody. I'm not trying to put anybody down or put any people down. I'm not trying to do any of that. All I'm doing is either critiquing somebody or I'm giving them kudos. If I'm not giving them kudos, then there's just something about them that I just don't trust, pretty much. And that's just me. I don't know them individually, but just, for some of the people that I'm finna talk about, I don't know. I don't fuck with them like that. I don't trust anything that they're talking about. They're like they're like robots and shit. I don't know how to explain it, but so let me just start off by saying this. So when dealing with this topic, you got a lot of people who are not receptive to things. They're not receptive. They dance around shit. And they talk over it, or they either dance around it. That's the main two things that I've been seeing as far as this subject. These people are not asking the right questions. Well, some people are not asking the right questions, because when you ask the right questions, then you're going to get a different reaction than you would normally get. Most of the time, it's mutual. So you really don't have to ask the right questions. You just have a mutual understanding about the subject, so everything is leveled out. So I actually want to talk about that as well. I want to talk about, just shortly and briefly, about what it means to be neutral versus what it means to be mutual. Neutral with an N, as in Nancy, and mutual is an M, like Michael. So like me, I'm neutral. I don't have to jump to nobody's side. I don't have to. That's not what I'm looking to do. That's not what I'm on here for. I'm not looking to agree and be on somebody's side and just be like, well, we agree, so we might as well be mutual about the situation. Not me. I'm just neutral. I'm just right here. I'm just still. I'm an idol. I'm not jumping to anybody's side, but at the same time, I do agree with other people. Now that's neutral. That's just being you taking the information as it comes. You are disposing of the shit that you already know or probably don't even. Which probably makes no sense, or you just don't need. You just dispose of it, and then the information that you can get into, then you'll sit back and you'll analyze that and you'll take it the way you want to take it or whatever. Now, being mutual is like y'all might not agree, but y'all agree to disagree. I don't have time for that, because it's like that's what it's going to be anyway. That's what it is. And, this is pretty much like the Tupac fans versus the Makaveli fans. That's the way I put it. You got your Tupac fans and you have Makaveli fans. Now, for those who are going to say Tupac and Makaveli are the same type of person or personality, I would say that you're wrong in many ways or whatever. And I won't really go into that too much into detail, but that's what I'm saying, where you have Tupac fans and Makaveli fans. They're mutual, you know. But then you would say, well, what am I? Am I a Tupac fan or am I a Makaveli fan? I'm neither. I'm neutral. I'm not mutual. I mean, yes, I could say there are some aspects of me being neutral that makes me mutual. But for the most part, I'm neutral about this. So when I say Tupac fans and Makaveli fans, I mean, you got the ones who say he's dead. There's no change in their mind, which I don't know why they would change their mind if they did. And then you have the Makaveli fans who say, hey, you know what? Something just ain't right. I think he's alive. So you still have people who enjoy the artistry of Tupac, aka Makaveli, but I had to split it up in two parts like that as far as the Tupac fans versus the Makaveli fans, because like I said, that's where they become mutual. They agree to disagree, you know. And just off the rip, I just want to say, like, you know, there's people out there who's like, they just go out of their ways just to try to say, well, he's dead. But it's like if he's dead, then just leave it at that then. If that's what he is, if he passed away and he's gone, why are you arguing with people who say he's alive? Like, you're already sat down in stone. It's concreted. It's hard. That's what you feel. That's what you believe. That's what you believe happened. You believe that he's dead. So why argue with other people or try to get into debates with people who feel that he's alive? Just stick to your shit and just leave it alone. But I've come to see, by just observing certain people and observing the people who comment and things like that, that these type of people really don't know what the hell they're talking about. They really have no fucking clue. They have no clue at all whether he's dead or alive. Is just that, like, hey, yo, this is the gang that I'm rolling with. It's a fad. It's like, this is what's famous. These are the people that are saying that he's dead, and they have a platform that they can say it on. So I agree with them, because I want to be wanted. I want to be pampered and made to be feeling like I'm worth something, because I agree with you. Those are what most of those followers are. And I'm going to explain who they are. And again, like I said, I'm not dissing these people. I don't know them to diss them. I don't know shit about them. I'm just critiquing them. You put out information out there, and then when somebody critiques you on your information or your material, that would be a better example to use. You put your material out there, and then somebody critiques it, and you get pissed off. And I'm not critiquing these people in a trolling way. I'm giving my honesty and integrity about the way that they put out their material and what they have to say about it. And like Troy Terrain would say, aka Star, it's just I'm just objectively speaking. It's just an objective. That's all it is. You know, another thing I noticed is that these people got all these subscribers, right? If you don't notice this, these people got all these subscribers. Some people on this subject, they got all these subscribers, right? But when they go live, there's nobody there. There's nobody there. There's probably like maybe a few hundred. But they got thousands of subscribers. Now that right there is just in plain sight. There's a lot of things hidden in plain sight. That's when I said at the beginning that there are people who just dance around shit. They're not receptive to anything. They're not receptive to I forgot what that word is. But it's just like they don't pay attention to shit. It's like they're stuck in this core value of belief. And it's not just with this one subject, it's with everything else that they believe. For example, they came out and said that the government killed Martin Luther King. They came out and said that. There are people that would still believe that, I forgot what the dude was who shot him. They still believe it. Even though they have came out and said, yeah, the government, yeah, we did that. Then they had to pay out all that money to the King family. And there's people that know that and ignore it, or there's people who don't know it and just still ignore it. These are the people that we're dealing with. These are the people that I'm dealing with. These are the people that are on this earth. These are the people that you see every day, that you walk around with. And that's just is what it is. There's no going around it. There are stupid, ignorant, dumb people out here that you share this air with, that you share this earth with, that you share this space with. That's just what it is. It doesn't matter the generation or the age. When on some points, on some subjects, it does matter, because a lot of these young motherfuckers don't know shit. They're just waiting to listen for somebody else to clarify so they can jump on their bandwagon and piggyback off what they're saying and just regurgitate the same fucking shit that they've been saying. So like I said, I'm going to take my time with this. So like I said, when you sit back and just observe things, I mean, it makes it a lot easier because you don't jump the gun. You wait for things to go back and forth for a little while. Then you mellow out, you cool off. And then you start breaking shit down as usual. And you start to put the pieces back together. You know, I know it's a lot of people out there who think they know what critical thinking is. They have no fucking clue what critical thinking is and objective speaking. They just have no clue, or they don't want to have a clue, or whatever. You know, a lot of people don't know there's a difference between knowledge and education. You know, wisdom and things like that. You know, a lot of people, they're educated because education is fixed. They tell you what they want you to learn. They've been doing it for years. Everybody has gone through it. If you've been through a public school system, then you know what I'm talking about. And if you say, that's not it, then, you're just fucking stupid. You're ignorant. Nobody has time for you. Nobody listens to you at all anyway. Nobody listens to you on the internet. And I'm pretty sure nobody listens to you in person. Nobody has these discussions with you because they know you don't know any fucking better anyway. So there's no reason for them to bring any of this shit up at all. None whatsoever. So these are the people that we share this shit with. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, then, asking the right questions, as I said before, you get a different response than you normally would get when you normally would ask questions that are just like repeated. They're of the norm. So you're not going to get too much of a reaction. You're not going to, and the people that expect a reaction, they're not going to get it either. They're just going to fall back into what they've already concluded themselves. And this is, like I said, Tupac fans versus Makaveli fans. Now, the people that get it, there are people that get it. You got Gab. Gab has been speaking on this. But before I talk about that, if you look at the history of YouTube and you try to go back to probably the farthest place you can go to where they said Tupac was alive, where people started posting, there wasn't people doing any commentary. I don't think any commentary came in. I don't know. I could guesstimate and say probably 2013, maybe 2012. That's when people started really commentating on Tupac being alive. But probably the earliest you can go back was maybe when YouTube first came out, maybe. And if there was, the people probably took the videos down. I don't know. But that's the farthest you can go back. Now there's been a jump or a spike and people talking about Tupac being alive. And this could go back to probably 2014 on YouTube. Now, this is where a lot of people begin. They begin on YouTube. There are people like me who have been speaking about this ever since we were children. I was 10 years old when Tupac supposedly died. I was 10 years old. And we were speaking about this. We wasn't doing all the other bullshit that normal kids would do. Like, we would speak about this shit critically. We were actually, there was no joking about this. It was just so serious to us. Because the year before that, who died? Eazy-E died. We had our speculations on that. We're 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds and shit like that. 15, 16-year-olds. I mean, the younger I was, is the older the people that were talking about it. So all I did was sit back and observe. That's all I did. So there are people that get it. There are new people that are coming out now who are, they're kind of saying the same thing, but they're also doing their own homework and connecting their own dots, which the dots, the dots that are already connected. They're already coming out and they're already saying that. They're already connecting their own dots and placing them to the dots that are already connected pretty much. And like I said Gab. Now, Gab to me, he's right there at the forefront. He's right there at the forefront for the information. Like he to me, like he's really thinking critically. Tanique has his moments where he has a lot of information. He goes and he gets the information, or he attempts to get the information. He's made phone calls and stuff like that. I mean, Gab probably has done it too. I'm not too sure, but I would say Tanique has. He goes and he tries to gets the information. And you got Lay Legend. Lay Legend is pretty much like the front man, the soldier. These are your three. These are your top three who are giving you Tupac's alive. Now, these people are not saying Tupac's not dead. I mean, they're not saying that. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's really saying that. But they're saying like something doesn't add up, and if it does add up, this is what it adds up to. It ain't just gonna be blank. It's not just gonna be blank, or it's just not gonna be what some other motherfuckers told you or whatever. So you got Gab, you got Tanique, and you got Lay Legend. Those are the most three popular ones right now. If I was probably more consistent on it, then I'd probably be up there too. I'd probably be the ones, part of them, getting interviews and stuff like that. But my page is not popping like that. I never came into YouTube to get a popping YouTube page based off commentary. My whole thing was coming in here to try to create something. That's why I was talking about earlier. This might be my last video on this, because I want to get into other things as far as creating what people don't have on here already, or what people see very little of. I don't want to fall into the column of this is what everybody else does, because that my views and subscriptions are not going to go up like that, because they're going to be bombarded by other people who are doing the same exact shit. But there's not very many people doing this of what we're doing, and there's not many people consistent with it, except Gab, except Tanique, and except Lay Legend. Now people might say, oh well, when you got Bomb First 313, I'm getting to them. Trust me, I'm going to get to them. But first, before I get to that, I mean, people really have to think, and they really don't. It's just what they don't do is something they're not good at. I mean, I remember hearing today, like I heard one of Gab's newest videos. He's just like, people might have this 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade education, but people are not this fucking stupid. They are not this stupid, and I agreed so heavily when he said that. And usually I comment. I'm not afraid to comment. I comment. That's what I do. I'm not afraid. I don't hide behind fake avatars and create multiple accounts and then talk shit to you and then get on another account and then talk shit to you too after you done blocked me. And then I go to another account and act like I'm piggybacking off. Like that's insane. If that's how people get down, I mean, that's just how they get down, but that's insane. I mean, it's really not that serious. Like I said, you chose a side and you stuck to it. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you. But to sit there and say there's something wrong with us just because we see a problem, or we see that something's wrong or some shit don't add up, and you calling us insane, then at that point it's just like, fuck you then. There ain't no mutual. There ain't nothing mutual about what we agree with and what we don't agree with, because I mean, they still take shots at each other. I mean, if you saw the interview on Bomb First, because Bomb First on that side, Bomb First is the head honcho when it comes to that, because Reggie Wright is over there. So Bomb First leads the charge and all the shit. But if you seen the recent discussion of, it was Gab and Lay Legend versus Bomb First and everybody else, which included Reggie and 313 and all of their fans and everything. And they had a discussion. They had a discussion about the situations and everything like that. But, like I said, there's certain questions that just were not asked. And that's fine. That's okay. Because I mean, like I said, even though my shit is not popping, I can still fill some of those little spaces, some of those tiny little voids that need to be, filled. I can probably do some of that. I could just probably put it in a different way that people can understand it and articulate better. Because, like Gab articulates, but Gab is busy. So it's like you can only articulate so far. Plus Gab does other shit. Tanique, he God, what was the fucking word? I just had the goddamn word. God damn. I don't know why I keep saying exaggerate. It's not exaggerate. It's articulate. Tanique articulates as well. Lay Legend, he does it, but he needs a little work on articulating it. Because I mean, I'm not saying you have to have all these long videos and stuff like that, but these are just the people who are in the forefront or whatever. And since they have a better following, it's like the better you articulate, I mean, the better your following would be. That's just what I think. I would think the way you articulate and, the way that you put out your information and everything, it makes your material look better, and it makes the video, pop out more, or just whatever the information that you were getting. So, like I said, like these are the three, including myself, who see the shit in plain sight. It's the shit that's hidden in plain sight. The other people who I'm finna speak on, Bomb First and 313 Live and everything like that. Those are the type of people who like to be told what to do, how to think. And then when they try to think for themselves, it doesn't fucking work out right. Because it doesn't make sense. I mean, if you're used to one type of system, if you're used to like people telling you what to think and how to react to certain shit, then it's like when you try to think for yourself, then you just fucked up. All you're gonna do is confuse yourself. So that's why they don't want to do that. And they might say, yes, we do. Yes, we are doing that. We are thinking for ourselves. I highly doubt that, and I really beg to differ. I really do. So like I said, before I talk about, I get into them and, the main body of this discussion and this segment and this topic, these people have to understand what the fuck a revolutionary is and the threat that it causes. I mean, how many people can actually sit there and say, all of the people who speak on this, how many people can say that their parents were Black Panthers? And then they continued the movement. Well, my my cousin was called his. Nah, I'm not talking about your cousins and which I'm talking about you. Because you were the one that is speaking up on this shit and everything. My mom wasn't no damn Black Panther. Neither was my fucking dad. So I wouldn't know shit. Besides a Black Panther actually giving me the knowledge and information. Who was solid in the shit. Before the shit got corrupted. After the shit got corrupted. Who was actually in there. That's where Pac came from. And people that shit just doesn't resonate with them. They're not receptive to it. That shit doesn't mean anything. All people pay attention to is when Tupac got to death row. That's all they pay attention to. When Pac came to death row, that's it. That's all they want to talk about is when he came to death row. This is the way it was. It's like, nah, motherfucker, it's more shit besides that. It's more things besides that. It's a whole lot more shit besides that. And then once you get the concept, I'm not going to break down the whole revolutionary thing, but it's like, I mean, all the information is out there. You can see what kind of threat that it posed to certain politicians and people that was in power. You have somebody poor coming up and rising against the fucking goddamn the powers, and then they overthrow it. I mean, it's been done in other countries, but in America, hell no. And who were they? They were all niggas. They were all black folks, kings, gods, whatever you want to call them. They were the forefront. They took them bullets. They were assassinated. So, I mean, if you understand that, and then you can like fast forward to death row, and then, listening to the way, Pac was talking, because I mean, like, everybody just heard All Eyes on Me, and it was like, oh, this nigga's just straight gangsta and shit. He's just straight fuck it. And that's what his attitude was, fuck it. The first fucking track on the goddamn album, the double album, was Ambitious as a Writer. He said, my attitude was fuck it, these motherfuckers love it. My attitude was fuck it, these motherfuckers love it. So it's like, why does he have to be dumb? It's like, why does Tupac have to be like the average Joe? And these are what these people that I'm going to talk about, who I'm just not too sure about. The other people in the beginning, I gave my kudos to them. I gave my kudos because I agree, and we have an understanding. Yet I'm still neutral. It doesn't mean that they're gonna click up with me or be in agreement with me or even notice me. I really don't give a damn if I'm noticed or not. I'm just saying. So I mean, it's like you got a person, I will want to use the example of someone in the military. You have someone in the military. Everybody else is just regular people. So when they were in the military, they saw shit that normal pedestrians would not see. They would hear certain shit that normal pedestrians would not hear. They were safe in their mama's or grandmama's basement or attic. They didn't have to worry about shit like that. But Pac, yeah, he had to do that. He was the soldier. He was the Marine. Everybody else wasn't. This is what I'm calling. He was a Panther. He's a Black Panther. No matter what, he couldn't escape that. He still was a part of this shit because he couldn't escape it because he was talking that shit in the beginning of his career. He was talking about all that liberation. He was talking everything like that. He was political. Nobody wants to pay attention to that. Everybody wants to pay attention to the badass, right? The Tupac with no hair, the bald-headed one with the tattoos and shit like that, with the bandana and shit. That's the Tupac. I mean, y'all, that's a fucking fantasy. That's the fantasy. The tattoos, the fucking bandanas and shit like that, throwing up the West Side, all that shit is a fucking fantasy. It's a gimmick. It's how you pull people in. It's a marketing strategy. Come on now. And it's a lot of these motherfuckers don't know shit about the music industry. I don't know that much either. I'm not going to sit there and act like that I've been in the industry or anything like that. But the motherfuckers who are speaking in absolutes act like they know the industry. Which is transitioning me into my other topic. I added on to this topic. Like I said, we weren't Black Panthers. We don't know what the shit was. We don't know what it was like to live like Tupac. We don't know. We never will know. Because we were not Panthers. Our parents were not Panthers. They probably like adopted some of the values of the Panthers, our parents, our grandparents and shit, but they probably weren't Panthers. They probably weren't out there in the fucking front lines and shit. Did your mama go to fucking jail facing the 300 something years and shit and get off by herself and all? No. Hell no. You be the case like that, or they gonna be on your ass. FBI, all that people are following you and shit like that. Gloria Cox even said that shit. I mean, come on. So it's like once you get to the point where he's like, okay, he was a revolutionary. Is that why they wanted him dead? Then I can start being neutral. When people understand that, then I can start being neutral. When people start talking about all this Orlando Anderson, Crip blood shit, you're not from California, first of all. And you're not from California. I mean, there's some people in California who say, yeah, Orlando Anderson did it. It was, I mean, come on, man. I mean, Orlando Anderson say he didn't do it. Then on top of that, then he going back to the hood talking about, oh yeah, I'm the one that shot Tupac. But on TV, he said he didn't do it. But he gonna go into his hood and start bragging about the shit. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Ain't nobody gonna tell. This wasn't no gang member. I mean, Tupac was a pedestrian. Yeah, he was kicking it. He's kicking it with Bloods. Of course, that's like going to another country. There's risk that you take when you do that. I've done it. Like I said, I'm from Cali. I was raised in Cali. I wasn't born in Cali, but I was raised there. I moved there when I was 4 or 5 years old. So technically I'm from Cali. Like I said, like the interview with Whack 100, Whack 100 was talking about, hey, you know, Tupac was from New York. He was from Baltimore and shit. If you wasn't born in Cali to Whack 100, then you're not from Cali. Some people may disagree. I mean, in some ways it may be true, but for the majority of people, if you went to school, to grade school, grammar school in California, you from California. Now, yeah, Pac didn't have no choice. If he could have came to Cali, who knows if he maybe wanted to come to California sooner. He wasn't grown. He ain't have no fucking goddamn resources or assets or anything like that to move where he wanted to move. He had no choice but to stay in Baltimore. Back and forth to New York and shit like that. He had no fucking choice. His mom was broke. Like most black folks in the inner cities and shit. Urban areas. It wasn't his fault. Then he just so happened to get to the north, to Northern California. And before I go on, I just wanted to address that goddamn MOB shit. Like, these motherfuckers, I get so tired of these motherfuckers talk about the MOB with the mob and the Paru and all that shit. Like, Northern California, they always been mobbing. They were always mob. Why does Tupac have to be so fucking dumb to break it down to y'all? Like, I'm not talking about mob Paru. I ain't say nothing about Paru, but Tupac ain't never in his life, in any of his lyrics, said anything about Paru or repping blood. None of his lyrics. But people just assume, like, oh yeah, he was kicking it with him, so he had to be down with him. I mean, that's where you work. That's where you working, of course. You're a co-worker. But when you go home, nigga, you yourself. Everybody else that was doing it, that's where they was from. They was from Compton. They was claiming Parus. Now, like, everybody, and the thing about it, everybody doesn't sit back and understand about, I mean, this Southside Crip and Mob Parus. When was there ever a beef between them? If you from fucking California. So that's why I said a lot of you motherfuckers who are not from California, y'all don't know the fucking goddamn gangs and the rivalries and the history of the rivalries. Like, I forget, Grape Street got a rivalry. I think it's, I don't know who it is. I'm not going to say who it is, because I don't know off the top of my head. I know there's a history of a rivalry with Grape Street, and I think there are other Crips. East Coast Crips have age-long rivalries. Rolling 60 Crips have age-long rivalries. These, I mean, if that was the case, then you can believe it. That's how I would believe that it was gang related. If it was gang related, it would have been about two sets who are rivals. Not this, oh, because they're Bloods and they're Crips, they're rivals. That's a fucking, that's false. That has never been like that. Just because you Blood and I'm Crip, or vice versa, that means that we're like, yeah, traditionally, yeah, they're against each other. But it's not like that. It's not really like that. Like right now, are the fucking Southside Crips and Mob Parus beefing right now? Hell no. Ain't nobody been talking about that shit. Ain't nobody spoke about it. Even on street gangs, the channel that's on here, you don't hear anything about the fucking Mob Parus and Southside Compton Crips having this age long rivalry between each other and shit. It was never like that. Just like I said, like I live right next to Compton. I lived in Long Beach. Long Beach is just a hop, jump, and a skip away from Compton. It's right there. I stay right there on the north side. Right there on the north side, between where it cut off between Paramount and Compton. When you go across the street, you in Long Beach. Go across the street again, you in Compton or Paramount. Get the fuck out of here. But like I said, these are these people speaking in absolutes. It's like where I get to, like John from Bomb First. I don't know the guy. I don't know nothing about him besides what I hear. Just enough for me to critique. John was just the dude that did the website. When I found that out, I was like, what the fuck what is he talking about then? All you did was do the website. What do you know? And even though he was of age at the time, but it's like, what the fuck are they going to tell you? All you did was did the website. You ain't never kicked it with nobody. I don't know if he has any pictures with anybody, but even the pictures, that don't mean nothing. A motherfucker could just stop and take a picture with you. That's easy. But it's like, I'm just like, what is that? What are they doing? Like John, what do you really know? And I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not taking away the fact that he just was on the computer and did a website. I'm saying like how can you just absolutely be so sure? Oh yeah, I know, because you worked with him. You were a co-worker. So of course you riding with whatever somebody else is saying, you riding with them. I bet who knows, maybe if John never really fucked with Reggie like that, who knows if they would have linked up and did everything. But that's neither here or there. Then you have 313 Live. Yeah, 313 Live. This dude is from Detroit. But he swear up and down like he know California. I mean, and that's one of I don't trust dudes like that. I mean, he was talking shit about Reggie. Everyone know that. And then Reggie was like, oh yeah, he apologized and he's cool. No, fuck that. I mean, y'all can still be cool, but it's like, nah, like you fuck that. I don't trust people like that. First it was fuck me. And then all of a sudden, I apologize, we cool and everything like that. No, because you know why? Because he jumped the gun. He was skipping. He skipped and he jumped the gun. And he probably prejudged him and shit like that. I mean, that's his personality. That's what he does. The host from the 313 Live show, that's what he does. He jumped the gun. He said, yeah, fuck Reggie, pudgy this, pudgy that, pudgy bastard, fat motherfucker, all this, everything like that. They came back and apologized. Now they cool. Nah, that's not how niggas roll. We don't roll like that. I mean, there's no beef or nothing like that, but it's like, hey man, you said fuck me, so it's fuck me or whatever. I'm not gonna trust you after that. After you done talked about me and everything like that. Like, nah, nigga, it's all a fucking game to these motherfuckers. That's just a game. It's a game, it's a YouTube game. Ain't nobody fucking with Rail like that. Ain't nobody coming to Detroit and kicking it with this nigga. Nor is this nigga coming to California and kicking it out there. You're not doing it. And it's like, they think that just Tupac was just this regular, average, thinking motherfucker. And I always just wanted to say, I always wanted to call in, to try to call in and just ask the question. Not to get into an argument or a debate. I just want to ask a simple yes and no questions. Maybe some that requires some type of feedback, so some type of explanation or whatever. But most of it would have just been yes or no questions. See, what you do with people is how like motherfuckers are not staying on track or they're not receptive to shit or they don't pay attention to shit is when you ask a motherfucker a yes or no question and they start talking and giving an explanation, then they're not paying attention. It's a yes or no question. It's not a rhetorical question. Nor is it a question for you to give a fucking a 20 sentence long explanation for. It was a yes or no question. This is why I said, about when you ask questions, you have to make sure you be specific about the question that you're asking if you want the top reaction. So my thing or my question will always be, does Tupac think like you or me? We all know the obvious answer. So why do you think Tupac has to think like you? If you say, no, Tupac don't think like me and I don't think like Tupac. So, but why are you speaking in absolutes like you knew him? Like you knew him personally. You knew what he was going to do. Like you just know that he wasn't going to do this. He wasn't going to do that. So let's get that out the way right quick. You have the obvious. Afeni said he was dead. That makes it believable, right? Why would the fuck would she say he's alive? The outlaws say he was dead. Why would they say he's alive? Why would they say it? If he was, why would they say it? Everybody say, oh yeah, Suge, he be playing around and everything like that. I don't know Suge. The only people that claim that they know Suge is Sharitha and Reggie. They know Suge. But then they try to put that same frame on Tupac. And that's where I was just like, no, y'all, And that's where it should have been stopped right there. Like when they start talking about like this personal shit, like yeah, they could talk about Tupac as an artist in the studio and shit like that. Yeah, we got those stories all day. We get it. We get about how he was in the studio and everything, how he was to certain people, how he would flip out sometimes and this and that and everything. Cause he was at work. He was at fucking work. He wasn't chilling at the crib doing that shit. He wasn't at his house. He wasn't in the grocery store doing that shit. He was at work. He was at work. He was working with slow motherfuckers. He was working with motherfuckers that didn't want to work, who were too slow working and shit like that. So he got pissed off. Motherfuckers there that wasn't supposed to be there. Type of shit like that. It's always that type of atmosphere when you're at work. And in this point, we're talking about a record label, a studio, or it's just like about anybody is welcome to some extent. But then it's like he thinks like everybody else because they can't think past their own self. It's like I said, it's like some people just like hearing their self speak. They like hearing their self talk, but they don't think for 1 second. Like I said, speaking in absolutes and shit. I don't like that about certain people. I don't respect people like that. If you just speak in absolutes like that, especially when you don't fucking know shit because you can't prove nothing. Because if you could prove it, then you would have proved it already. Now, don't give me what somebody else said. I want you to come with the proof. Things that are public record that can be obtained by the public. That says, look, check this out right here. He's dead. This is what it says. It says right here, he's dead. If they can't get past the social security number being active. Many people have talked about this and spoke about this. The weight being off and everything. The death certificate. $3 million for cremation. All that shit doesn't sound right, whether he was famous or not. But he was famous. So again, that's my question. Why does Tupac have to think like you? I asked John that. I asked John, why does Tupac have to think like you? You the type of motherfucker. I told Rail this as well from 313 Live. You guys are the type of people that would sit back and get caught up. Get shot at, keep getting shot at. Murder attempts and shit. Y'all would go and sit and do 4 years for something y'all didn't do. And that's where Reggie gets everybody confused. Like the more Reggie talk, it's like the more I can tell people just are confused. Because he's like he think Tupac will be a coward for ducking jail time. But it's like, Reggie, he didn't do shit. He never did nothing. Why the fuck is he gonna sit in jail for 4 years for something he did not do? Who wants to do that? Nigga, you gotta go to jail because you got caught. You got caught with them drugs or whatever the situation was about. You got caught. You gotta do that time. There were no other co-conspirators with you and shit like that. There was other people with Tupac. The night that shit supposedly happened, none of them got jail time. It was only him. Nigga, something's wrong. This is before he came to death row. They don't want to understand that. They don't care about that. Everybody wants to hear what happened when they came to death row. What happened when they came to death row? This is who he was when he came to death row. And that's a different fucking atmosphere. I'm pretty sure that shit was way different than Ruthless Records. I'm pretty sure you could come to work and get shit done. I mean, Ice Cube didn't leave because he couldn't work. Or wasn't nobody working. Ice Cube left because of the fucking paper wasn't right. You can work at fucking Ruthless, but you can't fucking work at Death Row. Shit, nigga, you got gangbangers up there all day. Anybody want to do that shit all fucking day and see that shit every day? Nah. But he had a liking for Suge and shit, and Suge helped him out and shit, and he knew Suge before that, and shit, he helped him out. He boosted up his numbers and shit like that. Snoop did it. Pac came, he boosted up his numbers. I'm not going to get into all like if he was going to leave or nothing, everything like that. I'm not doing that. But like I said, that has been my age-old question right there about why does Tupac have to think like you? Like I said, you're the one that would sit back and let somebody try to kill you. You would sit back and go to jail for something you didn't do. You would sit back and let the paparazzi and the news and the media just tell lies about you. And every time you come out, you're in the spotlight about this and this and this and that and all types of just drama. We didn't live like that. As individuals, we didn't live like that. You think Tupac? I mean, I can say that Tupac probably did have a core love, a deep expression for his fans who supported him and the individuals that he probably met. And it was like, I'm pretty sure it's like thousands of more people like that. But just in general, I wouldn't have gave a fuck about no goddamn fans because y'all can't save me. My fans cannot save me. My fans can't protect me. I'm just there to entertain them. They buy my record, go see my movies, write me fan mail, they give me interviews and stuff and talk about how much they love me. That's it. There's nothing that they can do for me. So it's just like everybody, they talk about, oh, y'all love him so much, I want him to be alive. No, that's not it. That's never been the case, at least not for me. It's never been like that. It's like, nigga, something just don't add up right. That's all it's been. Nothing adds up. Nothing adds up at all. The shit just seems just fishy, covering up and everything like that. And it can be done. They've already proven this shit. They've proven it can be done. They've done it in movies. Based on true stories. They've remade movies and it's right there in plain sight. People just take shit for entertainment. If people just take shit for entertainment, you're not going to get any critical thinkers who just want to be entertained. They're like fucking like animals. Animals want to be entertained. Like fucking dogs and cats and shit like that. That's what they want to do. They want to be entertained. And you can't entertain them no more, then they just going about their business. That's what these people are. And that's why I said, these people love him so much, they just think that he thinks like them. Oh, yeah, Tupac would have done this. So let's get back to that. Oh, yeah. Afeni said he was dead, so it's believable. Outlaw say he's dead. Other people say he was dead. But like I said, why the fuck would they slip up and say he's alive and tell you that he's alive? But okay, go to Suge then. Oh, Suge be playing around and everything. Look what he said about Easy injected and everything. That wasn't about Tupac. Him saying that, just him saying it means man, shit, everybody done turned on me any fucking way. I'm pretty sure Suge knew that somebody was conspiring to murder him. I'm pretty sure he found out. Who was it? Who knows? They saying it wasn't Reggie and Sharita. But somebody was trying to shoot at that nigga too. Who knows? It's like I said, if I'm gonna save that for the end. But it's like people think he's supposed to think like everybody else. Tupac was a dummy. He was stupid. He just sat back and he didn't prepare for nothing. He just was winging shit. He was just getting up every day I don't know. Well, fuck it, whatever. Who gives a shit? People. I know people trying to kill me, but yeah, I'm just gonna fall back and put the fucking shit in the Lord's hands and shit, and let the Lord take care of it. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what you would do. You wouldn't strategize shit, nigga. You easy to get fucking picked off. People can probably do surveillance on you for 5 days and know your whole fucking routine. It's easy to pick you off. You do the same shit all the fucking time. You don't never switch nothing up. That's the way you think. That's the way these people think. There's nothing strategic about them. There's nothing complex about them. They're simple-minded ass motherfuckers. And these motherfuckers get all the accolades. I wouldn't say all the accolades, but they get that type of attention because everybody else can relate. Everybody tries to relate with Tupac. Everybody tries to relate with him somehow. I mean, that's what you want to do. If it's your favorite artist, your favorite actor, you try to relate with them somehow. That's how you build a chemistry with somebody. You try to relate to them. But they relate to him in a way that they would relate to themselves. No. Half of you motherfuckers Tupac probably couldn't relate to. I don't want to fuck with you. And you know, that's what I was saying, you know, earlier about, you know, people not being from California, not knowing shit. They don't know shit about like the gang rivalries and shit like that. Like to my understanding, there was never a age long rivalry with the Southside Crips and the Mob Piru Bloods. There was never an age like y'all kept killing our homies. It ain't gonna never be peace. I mean, I can't say that for 100% sure, but it's never been televised. I mean, type of shit like that is always televised. It's always televised. There's always some type of information. People want to know that. People want to know that information. And then, you know, like I said, Reggie has been talking a lot. Because he got to go do that time. He said that. That's what he said. That's not what I said. That's what he said. He got to go do that time. So since he got to go do that time, he's taking all these questions and donations. And he's just on there, and they're trying to find rappers and stuff like that now. And you know, hey, that's cool. That's what's up. But, you know, it's like I'm the one or one of the people who actually listens to Reggie. I just don't hear this guy. I listen to him. I listen to him carefully. I listen to the things that he says that flies over the average person's head, and it doesn't question anything because they didn't see nothing. I didn't see nothing, so I have nothing to question. They don't fucking pay attention to shit. Their attention span. I have no attention span whatsoever. I mean, Reggie, to me, he sometimes he plays dumb. He plays like, it's like, come on, like, dude, like, because he's like the audience that he's speaking to, and I have nothing against anybody. Like I said, he's speaking to an audience where probably overseas. Most of them are probably overseas in Canada. I heard a couple brothers. From the States, where they would take calls and stuff. I would hear some of them talk and everything like that. I would hear them, but they would leave certain shit alone. They would leave it alone. They wouldn't dabble into that. They would just, hey, give Reggie kudos. They want to know about Death Row. They don't even touch on that shit. I fuck with those type of people. They don't even touch on this, man. I ain't even gonna act like I know anything. And I'm not finna agree with them just because, you know, I want to know about Death Row. I just ain't finna touch the shit. So Reggie been talking a lot more, you know. You got Gab got an interview with Reggie. Legend got an interview with Reggie. You know, they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish with it, and maybe they might leave it alone this time, or might leave him alone or whatever. But if I just wish I could connect with him and just be like, yo, this is like, you didn't hear when he said this, you didn't hear when he said that, and then you just start connecting shit, and it's everything. Every question should always be followed by some type of transitional question. And you asking questions, you got to follow a question with the same type of question, just to transition into another question. You ask one question and then change the whole subject and ask another question. You're not going to get the best type of reaction. And it's not about going hard on Reggie. It's not about going hard on Reggie or trying to put him in a corner and see if he'll bite or anything like that. It's just about asking the right questions. Like I said, I heard Reggie say out of his own mouth. He said he never kicked it with Tupac. Never kicked it with him. He didn't even bodyguard for him. So how the fuck do you know all of this information then? About Tupac personally. It's like Sharitha, yeah, Sharitha's a woman. I don't know her either. Then Sharitha was the same way. They sat up there and I forgot who it was. It was either with Lay Legend or Gab when they were talking about how, it was with Gab. They're talking about how they knew Suge. Like, I mean, it's like they knew Suge, like a can of paint or like the back of their hand. They knew Suge, but they put that same fucking shit on Tupac. They act like they knew that's what he was gonna do. I mean, like Sharitha even said, Pac cussed her out. Like, hey, you said be here at this time. I was here on the dot. Why the fuck are you late? Ain't no time. Like, who the fuck are y'all? For y'all to know anything. Y'all, come on, man. I mean, goddamn. It's just like people just stuck around the whole concept of death row. Death row was this, death row was that. And it was on the West Coast. It was. That's what death row was. But I think people just get so caught into that shit. They get too caught into like the shit that we really already know or we had an idea about. But it's like, I mean, I don't even really think that they should even be speaking on this shit. I mean, it's like I said, like to the beginning, it's like if you feel that he's dead, leave it at that then. Don't try to go and try to debate with somebody who don't think he's dead, who say he's alive, and then say that you can't prove to me that he's dead. And then when you try to prove it, you just regurgitate the same shit that was said before, which has been debunked or has so many fucking goddamn holes a semi can fit through it. And that's what it is. There's holes. There's too many holes. So like I said, like just paying attention to what Reggie's saying and how he says the shit, I form questions that I want to ask him. Not to push him in the corner or anything like that, but I just want his honest take on it. I just be wanting his honest take on this shit and everything like that. And then I'm following up questions. I'm using transitional follow up questions along with it to keep on one subject. Not jumping around. I don't want to jump around. I want to stick to one specific subject, and every goddamn question that I'm going to ask him is going to tie in with the next. Like I said, and then Reggie, he hate the shit. He hate hearing people he's alive and shit like that. He hate that. He thinks it's disrespectful. He thinks it's this and he thinks it's that. And it takes the light off the importance of the whole goddamn subject just because of his opinion about what he thinks. And he's entitled to it just like I'm entitled to it as well. But nobody's asking him the right questions. And it's not the questions that I want to ask. They could be questions that other people want to ask or they just haven't came up with yet. But like after just hearing him speak and hearing him talk and hearing John from Bomb First talk and hearing everything else from what's his name from the 313 Live, hearing them and everything, it's just a fucking circle. They going in circles. I mean, it's like I get the strategy. I get it. Trust me, I get it. Because it's like, like if you're not doing this, then what else are you doing? And I think like, probably it's some people that are probably going to pull back away from it or whatever. Like they think that they've made their point, and it, like Rail's favorite thing, or like not even Rail, it's just like certain people, period. They say the same shit. He wouldn't have been quiet this long. And I always say, how the fuck do you know what he was going to do? Like he just wasn't going to mature at all. They said silence is the best weapon. Gangsters move in silence. I mean, it's like these motherfuckers acting, and that's the whole thing. These motherfuckers, they tough talking and shit like that. Motherfucker, this shooting the shit. It's like, nigga, gangsters move in silence, nigga. And if you claim to be a gangster or that you was a gangster, then you will already fucking know that. You would already know that gangsters move in silence. So why would the nigga talk? Why would he say anything? On top of that, he's he's a revolutionary. He was born into revolutionary shit. They was coming after him because of that. He saw that at an early age. The fucking cops was sweating him about his name, Tupac Shakur. Who the fuck is Tupac Shakur? What the fuck is that? Why your mama named you that? Fucking nigger, why are you jaywalking? What jaywalking? What the fuck is a jaywalk? What you talking about? Fuck out of here. Who wants to deal with that shit? And if you can get away, and if you had the chance to get away, would you do it? You? Y'all? No, you wouldn't do it. You just sit your ass right there like a fucking duck and get picked off. It's crazy. It's lunacy. It's lunacy to hear some people speak about this shit. It's just fucking lunacy. Because nobody wants to ask the right questions. Nobody wants to think critically, or even, like I said, speaking absolutes. It's just like there's no possible way beyond a reasonable doubt that this motherfucker could have pulled that shit off. No, motherfucker, you couldn't have pulled it off. You probably have been too scared. Oh, there had to have been a whole team of people. Why? Because that's the way you see it. You would think that it would take a whole team of motherfuckers in order to pull some shit like that off, when it could have been like 2 or 3, 4 or 5, 6 or 7 people that they knew that wasn't gonna say shit. People that who can play both sides of the coin. Double agents. They can play both sides of the coin. Yeah, he dead. He dead as a doorknob. But nobody ever seen him dead. Nobody seen him dead. That's the other thing. Nobody seen him dead. So it's just like I said, you know, when you just stay away from people like that. I mean, I don't even like to even like talk about people who think that way, because that's just the way they think. And obviously I mean, we'll probably agree on every fucking thing except that. But just the way that they're thinking about that was just like, nah, I probably wouldn't fuck with you anyway. Because if you think like that about this, if you think it was just wham bam, this nigga would stomp the motherfucker out, and they're knowing they're not gonna come back for you, or they're not gonna be looking for you, and you just out freely, and you just, ain't, oh yeah, that was handled, ain't nobody gonna do shit. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. It's just like that's not gonna happen, because that's the way you think. That's the way you've been taught. That's the way you've been taught to think. He had to say something. He ain't gonna be quiet this long. I forgot who started that shit. And it's like, I mean, it's just like people right now. It's people right now who know me, but it's people right now who know me, or just know more of me than actually fucking know me. You see a caption down at the bottom of somebody speaking something of Tupac, a friend of Tupac, a something of recording artist of Tupac. And it's like, these motherfuckers probably seen him maybe 2 or 3 times out of their whole life, and probably never even kicked it with him, never been alone with him, never did anything special or fun or some shit that he wanted to do or anything like that. They wasn't in his daily life. They was just a fucking a co-worker just sitting around acting like he's going out so I can talk all. I mean, that happens all the fucking time. You walk away and somebody start talking about you like they fucking know you. Then you got other people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and both of those people come together. Now both of these motherfuckers are talking about you like they know you, and it's like a disease, and it spreads, and then everybody who was talking amongst each other come up with their own fucking conclusions, and then spill it out to the fucking mundane and shit like that, and they don't know any fucking better either. But they say it's like the deaf leading the blind. That's the same shit. But no, just because we say, hey man, this shit just don't add up. Shit just don't add up to us. And we the crazy ones. Yeah, that's cool. You can keep saying that. That's fine. Because nobody's really paying attention to that shit. Like I said, all we want is facts. All we want is facts. We don't want what you said, what you saw on the news and all the other shit. Nah, we need y'all to get down because it's y'all fucking job to prove to us that he's dead. It's not our job to prove to y'all that he's alive. Because you're the one claiming he's dead. Okay, show me. Don't flip it around and say, okay, he's alive. No, because the first thing when he was dead. So you're on that side. That's what came up first. He's dead. That's what came up first. He was dead. So the burden of proof is on you, not me. I said he's alive. I feel he's alive. And if he's dead, then we already know who shot him. It wasn't Orlando Anderson. We don't know who shot him, but we know what type of entity shot him or was taking shots at him and shit like that. They don't even want to believe that. Well, that's a fucking goddamn filter within itself. You got Tupac fans who believe he's dead, but it's Tupac fans who don't believe he died by Orlando Anderson. They believe that he died by the police. Or some type of conspiracy. Then you have the other Tupac fans who be like, no, fuck that. No, he wasn't killed by no police. He was killed by Orlando Anderson. He stomped him out. He came back blasting like a fucking movie. Like Menace to Society. Yeah. Kane stomped out old boy. He came back blasting. Yeah, it's just like a fucking movie. Yes, nah. Shit, that's not how shit works out. It doesn't work out like that. I mean, if you got some little petty gang or something like that, where it's like that, and you got a motherfucker who want to show himself and everything, who trying to grow some balls or show that he got some balls, then you'll get some shit like that. That nigga whooped your ass. What you gonna do? This motherfucker gonna kill a motherfucker right there on the strip, knowing that people can identify him and put him at the murder. And it's like, yeah. Oh yeah, Orlando Anderson killed Pac. Leave it alone. Nah, it's more than that. It's more than that. Everybody knows it's more than that. Like I said, the way Reggie talking, he says it to himself. It's like them type of people, you just let them keep talking. Because it's shit that they say that they don't even remember that they said. That's how fucking crazy they are. I didn't say that. Motherfucker, what are you talking about? You did say it. Go back to the shit if the motherfucker didn't edit it out. That's what you said. So you're just fucking talking pretty much. That's all you're doing is talking. It's crazy. It's fucking lunacy. It's like I said, you know, like them knowing Suge versus knowing Pac. They know what Suge was saying. It's like, oh yeah, Suge was just joking. He was just joking. The nigga was drunk. Everybody already knows when you're drunk, and you usually tell the truth. You say what's on your fucking mind. The fuck, I mean, what the fuck is Suge gonna gain from saying that? And Gab already spoke on that. There's a lot of people that is, what the fuck is Suge gonna gain from saying he's alive? This motherfucker been shot 6 times, knocked out and all types of shit. Now he's facing the goddamn the vehicular murder and all that other shit. Nobody got time for that shit. Ain't no fucking games and shit like that. I mean, playtime and joking and everything. I mean, they just like act like, I mean, yeah, a lot of people are big kids, but they just act like, you know, Suge was just this fucking immature, just basically like, I mean, he was like a fucking kid. He needed a handler. That's the way they describe shit. He needed a handler or some shit. Somebody to be by his side 24/7 to make sure that his ass didn't fuck up. That's the way it sounds like they making shit. Because he was talking all this and he was just playing and everything. So then it's like, I also noticed like it's a lot of people who are willing to talk, who are willing to come forward and say something. They really have no fucking clue. They ain't doing shit else. They just might as well take this interview. They can give their opinion on it. But they really have no goddamn clue. All like I said, all they can talk about is, yeah, man, Pac had this one studio session and I just know that he had his fist balled up. He was finna punch this motherfucker. or they was in the same room with Suge Knight and whatchamacallit, or they was in the same room with Tupac and Daz, or they was in the same room with Johnny J and Gaddafi and Napoleon and Tupac. It is like those are the stories that you're getting. They just happened to be there. These wasn't stories. We haven't got any stories where it's like, yeah, me and Pac, you know what I'm saying, when he you know, when he wasn't willing to do nothing, you know, he didn't feel like going to the studio if he did, or, you know, he wanted to wind down, you know, we would sit and we would kick it, we would have a couple beers and shit, smoke, eat, watch the game or whatever was on, and then we'll talk about this, we'll talk about that. So they don't have stories like that. You're not going to get any stories like that. And those stories that they did put out or whatever, those are already gone. Those are already out there. So all we doing is getting all these studio session stories, or these when everybody was out in the entourage stories. We're not getting any personal stories. That's why it's all corroded now. Well, it's not corroded. It's saturated. It's bombarded. It's everybody giving the same story now. And it's not boring or anything like that. I'm just saying. And like I said, there's some people who just leave it alone. They don't know. They not finna tell you what they heard just because they get up on somebody's platform and agree to an interview. What hurt him bad? What'd he do? He pled the fifth. So you think Tupac is alive? And I plead the fifth. I don't want to talk about that shit because nobody wants to get into an argument about it. Because all everybody's going to do is come at you like they've been trained to, or like they grew up to, or how they were taught to. I believe it. Why don't you believe it? I believe it happened. This is how it happened. It happened just like this. Said who? They said it. They said it happened just like that. Hearsay. So why don't you believe it? Oh, you don't believe it. You's a crazy motherfucker. You could pick apart a motherfucker's brain. You could sit and spend a whole fucking day with somebody and pick apart somebody's brain, and they'll sit there and call you whatever they want to call you. You can sit there and pick apart their fucking brains. Like, motherfucker, you don't know shit. You don't know a goddamn thing. It's like I said, like Reggie even said himself that he was misinformed and uninformed, or he was not that stupid. That's why, he was not that smart. So since he was not that smart, there's no possible way that he could try to pull off murdering Suge and Tupac or whatever. Now, I'm not getting into whether, he had anything to do with it or not. I'm just saying that's what he'll do to people. I've met people like that before. They try to play fucking stupid because you stupid already. You're dumb already. So they can play stupid. I can do it too. It's easy. It's easy to play dumb to people who are already stupid. That's how you fit in. You have to dumb yourself down to certain people in order to fit in. So I don't do that shit no more. I don't dumb myself down to fit in or be accepted by any fucking body. I don't care. I could care less about that shit. But there are just some people who just leave this shit alone. They don't even want nothing to. They don't want to be asking no questions about that. What Edie came on a couple days ago. Was Tupac leaving death row? What Edie say? Next question. Everybody is tired of talking about it because there's been some shit that people are starting to hear things, and then they're starting to think back to like, yo, they did say that back then, but I didn't pay no attention to it. I didn't pay any attention to it. And now people started to say this and say that, and people started to get them light bulbs turned on. It's like they're optimistic about shit. Like, well, maybe, I don't know. Shit, this sounds fishy. This sounds, because if it was so simple as everybody makes it, that everybody talks about it, the way it was so simply done, then there would be no question about it. Everything would have been up to par. during his death and afterwards with the cremation and the information that was put in and everything. All that shit is supposed to be done right. Oh, but just on Tupac, they probably didn't do it right. I mean, okay, yeah, they chose this Tupac, so it's like they're not going to do it right. But they did it right with everybody else. They didn't cremated, or they didn't had on that goddamn autopsy table and everything, measured them and did all that shit, took the pictures and all that and everything, which we see with Tupac. There's only one picture. With John F. Kennedy, you got 2 or 3 pictures. You got a full facial. You got Malcolm X. You got Martin Luther King. You got all their faces right there, so you can say like, yeah, that motherfucker's dead. You can see the bullet wounds before they cut him open and everything. They didn't cut open on them people yet. The picture with Tupac, that's the only picture that you see, and he's cut open already and stuff. Why not? Where's the picture of before that? Who would not get a sneak picture of that? Somebody gonna get a picture of it. Now, when they show like the regular picture, if they show me another picture of him before he was cut open, bullet wounds and all, dead, head swollen, like they said his head was swollen. Some people said his head was swollen. People said he was walking around and talking. People said he was shaking the bed. He was conscious. The fucking cop said, he said, "Fuck you," gargled up blood, and that was the last time he was conscious. Suge said he pulled him out the car and everything like that. The officer said no. The fire department, no, we pulled him out the car. Tupac said, "Get down, they gonna shoot you to the outlaws." No, that wasn't it. Tupac didn't say nothing. Tupac was in the ambulance laughing and joking with Suge and shit like that. It's all types of shit that was like, that's where you have to say, what the wait, okay, which one is it? This is the only reason why people think this way. This is the only reason why people like me are thinking this way, is because it's like, okay, which one is it? I mean, it's like a fucking basketball game. It's like, if we know who won, but y'all trying to explain to me how they wasn't supposed to win, and this and this and they wasn't supposed to win like this. It's because of this turnover. And if this turnover wasn't right, then they probably would have scored that bucket, and a wrong call from the ref over there and over there on the other side of the court, that shaded like 2 or 3 points and shit. That's what it sounds like. It's like the story just keeps on changing and shit. So that's why people leave it alone. They heard something and they just went along with it. Now, I didn't get to the Tim Dog thing because, like, that's self-explanatory. They said Tim Dog is alive and got a warrant out for his arrest. That this nigga tried to fake his death. He got a warrant out. He made a song after his death. He got that out. Why do people got to entertain it? If that's just what people do. Oh yeah, Tupac's alive, we just gonna entertain it. I don't know who the fuck is making money off of Tupac being alive, saying that he's alive. Nobody. I don't think nobody's making any money off of talking about Tupac's alive. Suge for sure ain't making no fucking money off of Tupac being alive, because he would have been able to bail himself out of jail. So if ain't nobody making no money, and if ain't nobody gaining it off of it, so then why are the people saying it? Oh, it's because they crazy, right? That's why. Yeah, they're crazy. They don't get nothing out of it. They just saying it just to say it. It's to piss people off, right? Get the fuck out of here with the reindeer games. Motherfuckers playing reindeer games. So I compared that. I was like, they said Tim Dog. Tim Dog is alive. Tim Dog just said fuck Compton and made shit about that and dissed everybody on the West Coast and everything. He supposed to be alive. News covered on it. Everything. Like, it can't happen. You can fake your death and get caught. I mean, come on. It's either or. Either you're gonna fake your death, get caught, or you fake your death and you got away with it. Now you can rest easy. So in conclusion of this, I just want to say, like I said, I'm not dissing nobody. I just sat back and I observed. I just listened. I put my thoughts together and I put it on the mic. That's all. Like I said, kudos to Neek and Gab and Lay Legend and everything, and everybody else that's like starting to put pieces together to come up with their own conclusions and shit, and doing the research and just looking at shit from a critical standpoint, not a stan or some fucking fan or some fanatic or just these people, the Reggie and John and 313 signing everybody off as everybody's so obsessed with Tupac, like he's some fucking bitch or something, like he's some female. Everybody's obsessed with him, that they want him to be alive. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's just like these apologists. These fucking apologists. Then I saw the unsolved murders of Tupac and Biggie and shit like that. I was going to do a review on that, but I was like, nah. Because I already seen it. Some things I didn't know. And it's just like some things where it's like, it's just pointing at the police. All it does is just point at the police. And you fucking think the fucking LAPD is gonna live that down? It's like y'all had something to do with it. And especially if it was Tupac and Biggie murder. Oh my God. You talk about the Great Depression in the city of Los Angeles, investigations, and nobody wants to go through that shit. Nobody gonna say shit. Like, even if Reggie knows something, Reggie ain't gonna say shit. It's not just because he's a cop. I mean, that has something to do with it, former cop or not. Like, I mean, it's just the code. You don't say shit. I mean, look how he treated Nick Bloomfield. he was yelling at Nick Bloomfield. I don't know what Nick was doing, but he was like, "Ain't no niggas gonna talk to you. You can go try to go to jail and talk to niggas, but niggas ain't gonna talk to you." Like, damn, Reggie, why you so fucking mean? What you mean niggas ain't gonna talk to him? Cause he's white? Ain't nobody gonna talk to him and shit? Like, it is some things where it come about race, and John be sitting there taking that shit, talking about white boys and shit. John be laughing it off like, come on, man. Have some dignity. Stand up for yourself. Sitting there talking about white boys and shit, and you sitting there, oh, come on, Reggie. Oh, come on, man. Don't do that. I just don't trust them, and it's like I said, like I don't have to know them and be around them to trust them. It's just like I said, the information that you put out there, it's like it's out there. It's out there for the public to see, to review, to critique, to have their freedom of speech on. Like I said, all this shit is just my opinion. Many people may disagree with a lot of this. Some people may agree with some people may disagree with some of the other things I said as well. But I'm just taking all this shit from observation. I'm not taking this shit just jumping the gun with this shit. I just sat back and I just observed. But like I said, I just don't trust everything that Reggie is saying. There are certain questions that I want to ask him, that I would like to ask him, that would further explain to me why he think he's dead versus why he knows he's dead. Then to me, he can shoot right back at me, and to the point where it's like why he's alive and why I think he's alive. But at some point in the time, those boundaries don't need to be crossed, because it's like you're gonna agree to disagree, because he's gonna disagree regardless. I'm gonna disagree regardless unless I have some fucking concrete evidence, some strict proof, strict, irrefutable fucking proof that this nigga's dead. This nigga was cremated and he's dead. That's all I want. Other than that, I just say, hey, he's probably alive. Who knows if he's alive now? You know, some people die, to their injuries after a while. They get cancer and shit, pass away. Look what happened to fucking Fife Dog and Nate Dogg and all them. All the motherfuckers died in their 40s and shit. You just never know. But like I said, it's like they have the upper hand because That's what's famous. That's the known story. That's what everybody's rolling with. So to go against the grain is blasphemy, pretty much, to like them. If they go against the grain, it's like blasphemy. It's blasphemous. So, but like I said, I think I done covered everything. They said Tim Dog's alive. He got a warrant out for his arrest. I didn't say my little piece on Tupac being alive. I just spoke about Reggie Wright, Tupac fans versus Makaveli fans, sitting back and observing shit, asking the right questions. Notice now people are not receptive. People are not receptive to certain things. They dance around shit, talk over it. You know, what it means to be neutral versus what it means to be mutual. Tupac fans versus Makaveli fans, the people that get it, Gab, Tanique, Lay Legend, and countless others. Things in plain sight. People like to be told how to think, how to act, what to believe. What it means to be a revolutionary, what the threat means. Growing up being the Black Panther versus not growing up being the Black Panther. Certain lanes of information. I mean, I could keep going on. I can keep going on about, just about people can get shit done. It's like, I just don't get it with people. It's just these motherfuckers are just sheeple. They're maniacs. They're fucking maniacs, lunatics. This fucking walking corpse. That's all they are to me. It's like this walking corpse. So I done spoke about people speaking in absolutes like Bomb First, John, and 313 Live with Rel and shit like that. And why Tupac has to think like everybody else. Why can't this motherfucker have his own thought pattern? Why does he have to think like you? And why do you love him so much that you think that he thinks like you? Even though he doesn't think anything like you. I just spoke about people not being from California, LA County. I'm not talking about anywhere else. I'm talking about LA County. And lived in that shit. Lived around that shit. All that gang banging and all that shit. Blacks versus Mexicans. Blacks versus blacks. Mexicans versus Mexicans. Asian gangs and shit. If you ain't never grew up around that, you don't know shit. Especially in Southern California. LA County. You don't know a fucking thing. You think you do just because of what everybody else tell you and shit. But if your ass ain't never seen that shit or experienced that shit firsthand, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to hear shit you got to say about what you think would have happened between what you thought happened between the Mob Pirus and Southside Compton Crips and shit. And there's even no fucking history of rivalry between them. No history whatsoever. And if it was, it died a long time ago. It's because a fucking Crip killed a Blood or a Blood killed a Crip. That's what it was. Like the other gangs I was talking about, I spoke about that. The Grape Streets with the rivalry of somebody. I don't know it off the top of my head, but like I said, it's somebody. Rolling 60s with somebody. Different lanes, the Pueblos, all of them have age-old rivalries. Dated back from the beginning of gangbanging and shit like that. So I spoke about that. I spoke about Reggie playing dumb. Reggie talking a lot more. Acting stupid. You know what I'm saying? Talking over certain questions and dancing around certain questions. And, people not being consistent with asking him certain questions and having a transition or a follow-up question. Not bashing them or anything like that. Talking to him like a man would talk to another man. The interviews and shit with Reggie. Reggie never kicked it with Tupac. I spoke about that. He never kicked it with Tupac. He never did he guard him. And my question was like, how the fuck do you know so fucking much then? How do you know Suge? You know so much about Suge because you kicked it with him. You pretty much grew up with him and shit like that, and eventually started working for him and working with him. And then Tupac just came on like just out of at the end of '95. Spoke about how they don't say shit besides that. If they go any farther behind that, they'll talk about the quad shootings. That's the furthest they'll probably fucking go back. They're not gonna go back to early 89 and 90 and shit like that. They're not gonna go back there and try to, you know, pick those roots and shit like that, where it first started, where his mindset was, where it was always was. And he showed you where his fucking mind was. He showed you in his acting. He showed you in his songs and shit. It's like fucking, yeah, a revolutionary is more dangerous than a fucking gang member. A gang member is gonna kill his own fucking kind, his own self. Revolutionary is not gonna do that. It's not gonna kill his own kind. A gangster will. Like, well, who the fuck does that? Like, come on now. They don't give a fuck about no goddamn gangbanger. Gangbangers kill each other. Revolutionaries don't do shit like that. They're more dangerous than gangbangers. And if you disagree, you need to wake the fuck up. So like I said, you know, not knowing him personally, talk about what he would have did and what he would have said and what he would have not would have said and all that other fucking dumb shit. And you just work with the motherfucker. Now you think you know him. Then you telling it to all these peons and shit. They think they know him too. I hate that shit. I hate it. I can't stand it. You don't know me. You don't know shit about me. This is what Tupac would say. You don't know shit about y'all talking. I hear y'all talking. Or just like any other person breathing. Because they might think they motherfucker might be locked up or shit like that. He might be out in the streets. There's motherfuckers around talking about this motherfucker. Talking about this person. Like they know this person. This motherfucker out in the streets the whole time. Everybody think he locked up though. That's just an example. Oh yeah, this motherfucker was doing this. Or this motherfucker was doing that. Like what the fuck? What are you talking about? First of all, who the fuck are you? Oh, who told you that? Oh, such and such. Who the fuck are they? They don't know me. They heard that shit from somebody else. These are the people that we dealing with. And like I said, the people who just speak on it really have no clue. They just, hey, this is what happened. This one time, this is what happened. And a lot of people leave it alone. They just heard something. Like I said, why is Tupac dead? He's a revolutionary. That's why he's dead, if he is. Who killed him? Anti-revolutionary motherfuckers killed him. Not a gangbanger. Too easy, too simple. If it was some gangbanging shit, hey, the motherfuckers, they would have been dead too right there. I'm telling you. This was some gangbanging shit. It's like, what the fuck they got? What they got with Pac? Why didn't they go and shoot up everybody else who kicked on him and shit? That wasn't the only motherfucker that. Oh yeah, Pac bombed on him first, so I'm gonna kill him. Get the fuck out of here. Why is he not dead? Because he caught the shit. He caught it. He caught it before it happened. He peeped game. He outsmarted a lot of dumb motherfuckers who tried to show him like, yeah, I'm smart. I have intelligence. You know, he outsmarted the motherfuckers. That's why he's not dead. Just because everybody else said he was doesn't mean that they have to tell you. Who are you? You are not his fan. I mean, you're just fans. You're not family. What the fuck do they have? What obligations do they have to sit there and tell fans? Tell other people who don't give a shit just about his music and shit and his bandana and his fucking tattoos and shit. That's what everybody is fascinated off of. Like I said, the gimmick. The fucking character. Tupac, the character. That's what everybody is fucking so. Oh yeah, I know him. He showed you that shit. He was just acting. But like I said, it's either going to go one way or the other. Everybody's already divided. Some people done converted back over. Some people done converted over to the other side. Tupac fans versus Makaveli fans. It's going to be like that until there's some strict proof, I'm telling you. Cause like I said, I ain't gotta argue with nobody. I ain't gotta go into no goddamn debate with nobody. I don't have to acknowledge that we agree to disagree. I don't have to acknowledge it because I already see it. There's no reason to try to come together and try to act like that. You know, we're all a part of. You know, yeah. In human sense, yeah, we're all a part of it. But mentally, no. We're far away from each other. Very far. And it's it's basic shit. It's not even, it's basic common sense shit. That's the thing. That's what I'm gonna end with. It's just basic common sense. That's what people are fighting over. Basic common sense. Some people just don't have it. It's just like either you have it or you don't. It's like talent. You have it or you don't. Same thing with fucking common sense. Either you have it or you don't. Some people never had it. Some people develop it. Some people lose it. But that's what it comes down to. It comes down to common sense.